Hey everybody, I'm Jim and this is Ricky, and we've been talking about niche sites a lot on YouTube, and a lot of you guys have asked what we do for our content making process. I guess the thing that I want to get across about making content is too many people approach their niche sites like a machine. And you know, there is a process to be learned and you can repeat them and build lots of them. But if you approach your very first niche site like a machine, you're just churning out content. It generally tends to be really low quality. And so we have found on every niche site we've built that we need to do at least some of the writing because we care about that site succeeding more than any other writer we can hire.
Yep.
And so I really do firmly believe that you're going to have a better success rate if you're at least doing some of the writing. Somebody who really cares about that site succeeding.
Yeah, a lot of people ask, can I outsource my writing? And the answer is yes, you can outsource a percentage of it. You could outsource all of it, but it's like Jim said, nobody's going to care as much about your site as you. If you want to come across as genuine in your website, which I want you to come across as genuine, rather than just having a bunch of product reviews, which again, we also don't want you to just do that. So if you want to come across that way, you need to write a bunch of your content yourself. If you hire a copywriter to help kind of fill in, and you've kind of outlined the article, put in your own photos and some things like that, that's probably okay.
And this is exactly why. If you hire somebody else to write reviews of hosting companies, well, let's look. We go to hostingadvice.com, 2017's best hosting services, 100% real.
Real reviews.
So when you go to this website, is this 100% real? No.
It looks like a bunch of advertisements.
It does. And I bet they have not used 90% of these. They don't know. You know, they have reviews from users, but I bet the majority of them are actually written by Bob, who wrote as Sally and Alexandra and etc. You can't, if you want success and you want people to buy the products you link to on Amazon or whatever, or just like your site enough to come back, you got to do it with some love, and you can't make spammy crap. So be authentic and do at least some of the writing yourself to help to get the website off the ground.
And it may be that these people wrote these reviews, and maybe they are 100% real reviews, but the problem is looks like advertisements. It doesn't look... I go to that website, and the fact that they have this really consistent layout, and you may look at that and think, well, I'm going to build that in my website.
It's very professional.
It's very professional. It's easy to compare to these companies. But on the other hand, the fact that it's built that way just makes it feel fake. It makes it feel like they're just trying to sell me stuff.
Yeah, compare that to this website. It's mine. Sorry to use me as a good example. That sounds not the best, but you know, I am not afraid at all of somebody outranking me for a Yamaha TTR 50 review because I own the bike. There's a picture of my son on the dirt bike. You know, I've owned it. I've spent time with it. When people go to this review, they're gonna know it's authentic. And so it's going to be hard for some computer algorithm with AI to write this blog post, or somebody to hire somebody in India to churn out some crud post about this. It's real, and people can recognize real.
That's right. Okay, now people have asked us, how do we come up with ideas for articles? First of all, when you're coming up with ideas, I like to use a brainstorming process similar to what everybody uses. You got to do something to get the creative juices flowing. And once the creative juices are flowing, they tend to flow. So don't spend 3 hours coming up with one topic and then go write that article. You're going to waste so much time. Just, you know, get yourself in that mode, come up with the idea, and then come up with 30 more ideas. This process is or, you know, the tool that we're talking about is creating a hit list. It's a hit list of articles, and you're going to take the time to come up with just maybe 10 at a time, maybe 20, maybe 50 article ideas all at once. And what that's going to allow you to do is the next day when you're like, man, I'm tired, I'm wiped out from coming up with all those ideas yesterday. What do I want to do today? Oh, I know, I'm going to write this article because I already have the idea.
So what do? Let's write a blog post right now. This is Dirt Bike Planet. This is our website that we're working on right now. And we want to write a website. So you don't ride dirt bikes regularly.
No.
So what's something you wonder about a dirt bike?
Something I might wonder about a dirt bike is if I know a little bit about dirt bikes. If I were a total beginner, my questions might be different. So as a total beginner, I might be like, how do you like make the dirt bike go? But that's probably that might be a dumb question for dirt biking.
That's okay. How do you start?
How do you start a dirt bike? Where's the gas pedal? I only drive cars. Where's the gas pedal on a dirt bike?
That's fine. Yeah, you want to know. You have 2 hand brakes, a foot brake, and the throttle. It's not like a car. At some point, you're going to have to learn what each of those do. So that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Or some guy's got this old, in Grandpa's garage, he's got a dirt bike, and I can't get this thing started.
Yeah,
you can do how to start a dirt bike when it's hard to start.
Yeah,
okay?
There you go.
So that's my keyword. If I want to kind of find out more about it, I just type this in Google, and then I come down here to the related searches, and now it says how to kickstart a dirt bike, how to start a dirt bike without a kickstart. Aha, so now if somebody's got an electric dirt bike, they turned it on in the spring, and they're like, crud, the starter doesn't work. What do I do? And you need to teach them how to check to see if there's battery, see if it's the starter, etc. So we have like 10 different things here, different articles we can write. Whatever, we're going to take our idea, how to start a dirt bike when it's hard to start. That's our keyword, that's our headline.
Or how to start a dirt bike when the battery's dead.
Yeah,
that's a great one.
Okay, good.
So how do I hill start or how do I push start a dirt bike? Now, I know about that because I know a little bit about dirt bikes.
That's a good one. How do you push start a dirt bike?
Yeah.
I learned about this last week because I would have thought you'd want to do this in first gear. You want to go to the high gear for this. Didn't know that. So it needs a tutorial.
And I've had to push start my road motorcycle on various occasions. So.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Now, my process for actual writing, I think you do the same thing, is I start by doing subheadings. So I have that, and so I can explain in a few sentences what you do. Put it into high gear, pull in the clutch, run physically with the bike, and then let out the clutch. And it should start it up. You should be ready to go. Make sure the key's in the on position, even though the battery's dead.
Sure.
And it should start. So then my blog post is like 100 words, and you say, I'm done. But we find that the long blog posts are what really succeed, those 3,000, 4,000 ones. And so I just think, what's the next question I'm going to ask? The next question is, okay, it started, but how do I get the battery working? And so the next subheading is how to check to see if your battery was dead. What to do if your Kickstarter is just out, it's just not working, etc. And I'll make those different subheadings. Maybe I'll have 4 or 5 subheadings, and then I simply just fill in the dots. I just explain between the subheadings what to do.
It's really easy. We get this all the time. Okay, people say, you tell me to write a long article. You tell me my article should be 2,000 words. Minimum 1,500, more like 2,000, 2,500 words. But on this topic, I can only write a 900-word article. And I look at the topic and I say, are you kidding me? Like, this is a huge topic. You could write a ton. Yeah, but I've already sort of answered the question. Okay, but if you take the question, think about what are the next 3 questions that are going to be asked. Think about maybe the caveats to that. So, maybe there is, and I don't know this for sure, but maybe for dirt bikes, maybe there's a caveat to that whole push start thing. Maybe certain types of dirt bikes don't work the same way. Maybe kickstarting in second gear works better sometimes. I don't know. I'm making this up.
You're good.
Then there could be like, what are things I need to check before I do a push start to make sure the battery is actually connected and will start charging again once I ride. These are all topics that are all very, very much related to that original question. And so each one of those becomes a heading. And so when we say we create subheadings, essentially all we're doing is creating an outline, just like you did in high school English, if you took high school English.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing. We're creating an outline for our article, and then it's really easy to write a whole bunch of little mini 300-word, 200-word articles under each one of the subheadings.
And whenever you run out of ideas of what other questions somebody might ask, just Google it. We're going to type how to push start a dirt bike. And then you go down here, and we're going to do the same thing. How to start with no kickstart, without a clutch, etc. And you say, oh, without a clutch, I hadn't covered that yet.
Yeah, and what about how to push start a 2-stroke?
Oh,
well,
perfect.
2 strokes and 4 strokes are different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the push start's different. Maybe that's some research. That we need
Here's
to do.
another phrase: bump start. What's the difference between a bump start and a push start? Why do they call it a bump start?
Yeah,
it's great. But if you're getting writer's block because you're saying, oh man, I wrote 200 words and you're stuck, you're not stuck. Just keep following through the process, and after you do this with 2 or 3 blog posts, it's not difficult to write the long articles. It just takes a little bit of practice to learn how to include other content.
And what's awesome when it comes to creating your hit list is that as we go through this and we see all these other recommended searches at the bottom of our Google search page, that's going to lead me down tons and tons of rabbit holes. And some of those searches, not all of them, but some of those searches are going to be great ideas for other articles. So as I go through this, I'm just going to start listing everything that I think is probably a good article to write, a good question that's being asked, and next thing I know, I have a hit list of 50 articles.
And sometimes you're going to get writer's block. I had it yesterday in the afternoon. I was thinking of ideas, and I was just like, I can't think of anything. And just take an hour off, and here we are sitting down, and we just thought of like 20 different articles I could write for this website.
Yeah.
So just take a little bit of time, give yourself some break, and you'll get it. If you're interested in starting your niche site, go check out Niche Site School. It's on incomeschool.com and click Niche Site School. You work directly with us. We're going to help teach you our exact business model for building successful blogs that we've done over and over again, bringing in passive income. Thanks, everybody.